Unbelievable. Chiu. Moment. Paulo takes over as Kim stuns guests. A very intimate scene revealed at her party. Hi there, welcome to Celeb Buzz, the hotspot for everything celebrity. From red carpet reveals to behind the scenes drama, we've got the buzz you crave. If you love staying in the loop, hit subscribe, tap that bell, and share the love with your friends. Let's dive into today's celeb scoop. The night was already destined to be memorable, but no one could have predicted just how deeply it would resonate with everyone who witnessed it. What began as a beautifully organized celebration for Kim Chiu soon transformed into an emotionally charged and unforgettable experience, one that blurred the lines between public festivity and private connection. And at the heart of it all was Paulo Avelino, whose quiet yet powerful presence seemed to reshape the entire atmosphere of the evening. From the very beginning, the party carried an undeniable elegance. The venue was designed with precision, soft lighting, carefully curated decor, and an ambiance that balanced warmth with sophistication. Guests arrived dressed for the occasion, bringing with them an energy of celebration, admiration, and anticipation. There was laughter, music, and the familiar rhythm of a well-planned event. Kim moved effortlessly through the crowd, greeting friends, sharing smiles, and embodying the vibrant personality that has made her so beloved. Yet beneath the surface of this lively gathering, there was a subtle shift taking place, one that only became noticeable as the evening progressed. It started with small, almost imperceptible changes. The way certain moments lingered a little longer, the way conversations softened, the way attention gradually began to focus on a particular dynamic unfolding in real time. Those who were present began to sense that something meaningful was about to happen, even if they couldn't yet define it. Then came the moment that would later be described as Palitan na ni Paulo, a phrase that quickly spread among fans and observers, interpreted in various ways but always pointing to the same idea: a shift, a transition, a quiet takeover of the emotional center of the event. Paulo Avelino didn't make a grand announcement or draw attention through dramatic gestures. Instead, his presence became more pronounced in a way that felt natural yet undeniably intentional. It was as if the spotlight, without anyone forcing it, began to move toward him, not because he demanded it, but because the moment itself seemed to call for it. And as that shift happened, the energy of the room changed. The lively buzz of a party gave way to something more focused, more intimate, more real. What followed has been described repeatedly as a very intimate ganap, a phrase that has captured the imagination of fans everywhere. But this intimacy wasn't about exclusivity or secrecy, it was about authenticity. In a room full of people, there emerged a moment that felt deeply personal, almost as if it existed in its own space, separate from the rest of the celebration. Kim Chiu, who had been glowing throughout the evening, seemed to pause in a way that spoke volumes. Her usual energy softened, replaced by a presence that was more grounded, more reflective. Those who were watching closely noticed the change immediately. It wasn't dramatic, but it was undeniable. It was the kind of shift that signals something meaningful is unfolding. As Paulo engaged in this moment, whether through words, gestures, or simply shared presence, the connection between the two became the focal point of the night. It wasn't something that needed explanation. It was felt, observed, and understood in a way that transcended language. Guests who had come expecting a celebration found themselves witnessing something far more profound. The term, nilantad, meaning revealed, quickly became associated with what happened next. Yet what was revealed wasn't a formal declaration or a clear statement, it was something subtler, something that unfolded through emotion rather than words. It was in the way they looked at each other, in the pauses between interactions, in the quiet acknowledgement of a shared moment that seemed to carry significance beyond the surface. For many attendees, this was the point where the party transformed completely. Conversations faded, attention sharpened, and the collective energy of the room aligned around what was happening. It was no longer just a gathering, it became an experience, one that people would later struggle to fully describe but would never forget. Social media, as expected, quickly became an extension of the event. Clips, descriptions, and reactions began circulating almost immediately, each one adding a new layer to the story. Fans who weren't present relied on these fragments to piece together what had happened, and in doing so, they became part of the narrative themselves. The phrase, Hindi mo kakayanan, began appearing in comments, reflecting the overwhelming emotional impact that even second-hand accounts seem to carry. What makes this moment particularly compelling is the way it balances visibility and mystery. Enough was seen to spark intense discussion, yet enough remains unspoken to keep people wondering. This balance is rare, especially in an age where most moments are fully documented and instantly explained. Here, the lack of complete clarity only adds to the depth of engagement. Paulo's role in all of this reinforces the perception many already have of him, that of someone who operates with intention rather than impulse. He doesn't dominate a moment, he shapes it. He doesn't rely on spectacle, he builds meaning through presence. And in this case, that approach allowed something deeply authentic to emerge. Kim, on the other hand, continues to be the emotional anchor of the story. Her ability to express, to react, and to remain open in moments of significance is what allows these experiences to resonate so strongly. Without that openness, the moment might have passed unnoticed. But because of it, the entire scene gained emotional weight. As discussions continue, interpretations vary. Some see this as a defining moment, a turning point that signals something more concrete in the relationship between Kim and Paulo. Others view it as a beautiful but undefined expression of connection, something meaningful without needing to be labeled. Both perspectives, in their own way, highlight the impact of what happened. There is also a broader takeaway that many fans have begun to appreciate, the idea that not all significant moments need to be loud or explicit. Sometimes, the most powerful experiences are the ones that unfold quietly, that reveal themselves through subtle shifts rather than bold declarations. This moment at Kim's party seems to embody that idea perfectly. As the story continues to evolve, one thing remains certain: this was not just another highlight in a series of events. It was a moment that stood out, that captured attention, and that left a lasting impression on everyone who encountered it, whether in person or through shared accounts. In the end, what happened that night goes beyond simple description. It represents a convergence of timing, emotion, and presence, a moment where celebration met authenticity, where the public and the private briefly overlapped, and where something quietly powerful was revealed. And as fans continue to reflect on it, discuss it, and anticipate what comes next, the memory of that very intimate ganap will remain, unspoken in detail, but deeply felt in impact. That's the latest from Celeb Buzz. If you enjoyed the scoop, smash that like button, subscribe for more star-studded updates, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss a beat. Share this video with your fellow celeb fans, and we'll see you in the next buzz.